All right. All right. All right. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Jumped on here a little early again, about 2 minutes. That's fine. We're going to get things going here. Let me pump these tweets out. Get everyone in here. Perfect. Let's go. All right. Oscar, my man. Good morning. Early gang, Eric, Nancy, Oscar, Maya, Don. What's going on? JR. Good morning. Good morning. Edgar, good morning. Not sure why my camera is so white. It's got like a white filter on it today. Anyways, good morning, everybody. George, good morning. All right, I'm gonna pull this over here so I can see the chat a little bit better. I don't want to look to the left too much. All right. Let's get everyone to kind of tune in here. Eric on a mission to see if that's the real JR. All right. Ritish, yo, good morning. Daryl, good morning. Judah, moaning brother. What's going on, my man? All right. Let's get things popping. Gonna wait a few minutes for everyone to kind of tune in here, and then we'll get it going. Hope everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. William, good morning. Let's go. All right, let's take a look. Should have some job support number. What we got? The forecast was 1580. We have 1635. So actually a little bit of a spike in those jobless claims. All right. Eric and Nancy's favorite color. Mary, good morning. Ali, good morning. Mr. M. That's about to squeeze again. Oh, God. You guys are nuts. Playing these shitty stocks. Yusuf, good morning. Rayhan, good morning. Danielle, good morning. Terrell, first time here. Good morning. What's going on, my man? Peter, good morning. Had my coffee and ready to learn. Good morning, all. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. All right, guys. Usually we wait about 5 minutes for everyone to kind of tune in here. Once we get everyone here, usually around 8:35 a.m. Eastern time, we'll get started. We'll go over the market itself, what it's been doing, and then we'll go over some of the free alerts, and then we'll talk about some of the questions that you guys may have in regards to some of the tickers that you guys are watching. Legit Movers Chicago, what's going on? Good morning. Good morning. Eric, I think JR is still sleeping. That might not be the real Jay Easel. I think J.R. Lloyd is someone else. Sky, my man, good morning. Good morning. All right, guys, gonna wait about 3 more minutes here. Give time for everybody to tune in. Oh, perfect. That's out. Everything's out. Looking good. Looking good. Kushal, good morning. Jose. What's going on, my man? Please, NKE. Interesting. Good morning, McGann. All right, guys. So again, gonna wait till 8:35 here. Market looks like it wants to push a little bit after the jobless claim numbers. Either way, we got some levels that we can monitor. Nice little push here in the pre-market. But we'll go over the market analysis. We'll go over some of the free alerts. Then we'll go over some of the tickers and questions you guys may have in regards to your tickers. If you guys want to ask me questions about your tickers, please make sure that you do tell me what you're looking to do with it. Don't just put, ticker question mark, or thoughts ticker. Let me know, do you want to trade it for a day trade? Are you looking to swing trade it? Are you looking to buy puts? Are you looking to buy calls? The more I know, the better I can kind of give you my opinion on it. Otherwise, ticker question mark or ticker please or ticker thoughts is not going to help me. And I'll most likely probably just skip over it. So let's wait a few more minutes here. It's 8:34. We'll wait about 1 more minute and then we'll get it started. We'll have some levels on the upside and downsides to monitor in regards to the SPY and the Qs. Seems like everybody wants to get rich quick. Not sure why everybody goes after these shitty stocks like DWAC and DATS and all those bullshit names. But you guys will eventually learn. Everyone, smash the like button if you're here. I appreciate Nancy. She's constantly telling people to smash the like button. So if you guys are here, go ahead and smash the like button. YouTube likes it. Not sure what it does really with the algorithms. But anyways, it is 8:34. We got about a few more seconds here. We'll wait till all this gets started. 8:35, we'll jump right into it. And I think we're going to do that right now. All right, guys. So here we are with the markets. Obviously, every time we've come down to this, I guess there's a 100 moving average here that we keep bouncing off of. Unfortunately, we lost that 100 moving average and now coming down to the downside. All right. So this is what we're kind of looking at. A lot of people have eyes on this, the 451 level. If that breaks, we could see further sell-off here. But, we have a few levels that we can still monitor on the way down. And with that said, let's get into the closer time frames. Obviously, we're far away from the moving averages here. And, we are a little extended to the downside, so we should see some sort of a bounce soon. But maybe today's the day. Let's take a look at the 15-minute time frame on SPY here. Let me pull up my main levels. And boom, there you go. All right, so aggressive sell-off yesterday, popping up here in the futures. We gapped up a little bit here, and now with this jobless claims numbers, for whatever reason, the market's kind of pushing up. So we'll have to kind of monitor that. But with that said, what levels are we looking at for the SPY here? Okay, the main level that we need to keep an eye on with the SPY is that 453 level. All right, 453.73. If we can maintain above this at the open, and we kind of push and hold above this 453.73 level, great. We have some resistance right here at 454, and that's going to be the next area that we need to get through. And if we do get through that, right here, this 454 level, if we do get through that, then we're looking for a push to the 455, 456, and ultimately the 457. There's going to be a lot of resistance here. If and only if we can get over this level, we could try to retest back at these highs. All right. This doesn't mean that we're going to push all the way back to that 466 level. It doesn't mean we're going to go back to all-time highs. In the short term, we have to clear these levels in order to try to retest some way back into those levels from yesterday. All right, the level that we had a lot of resistance at yesterday was 458.50, and that's the level we kind of need to monitor if we open and maintain above this 453.73. Okay, if we can hold above this, then we're looking at some resistance lines on the way up, which are labeled right here. You guys can take a screenshot of this if you want, but first and foremost, for a bullish move, we need to kind of clear these two areas, 453.73, 454.50, and then we can look to kind of retest these resistance points and then ultimately that 458. All right, if we lose this 453 to the downside, fail to open at this level, we could see a fall back to the 452, 451, and ultimately this 450.46. Okay, now this 450.46 is going to be a big level here, because if we fail to hold this, there's a big pocket down here towards that 448.50. Okay, so again, this 453.73 is going to be that pivotal area. Maintain above it, we could look for bullish sentiment, and roll over under it, we could look for bearish moves towards that 451.83 and 450.46 ultimately, which is levels that are held in the futures in the after hour sessions yesterday. Okay, so that's in regards to the SPY. Now let's take a look at the Qs. If we go back to the daily chart here, pop up the Qs. So the Qs, obviously we're seeing a lot more weakness in the Qs. This has been a sentiment across the board. We know that tech has been basically struggling more than the other sectors. And it's pretty evident here in regards to what we're looking at on the daily chart, right? We sold off, popped back up to the 20 moving average. We have the 20 that's already crossed over the 50. And if we take a look at the SPY, the 20 is just about to cross. And take a look at the distance between the SPY and the 200 moving average, and then take a look at the Q and look at where the 200 moving average is, right? So coming into an area where, you know, we've sold off significantly, coming into these areas of 200 moving average support, as well as that 363 area that I have some support at. So something to kind of consider in regards to the SPY as well. I mean, in regards to the Q as well. So let's take a look at the closer time frames. Let me pull up my levels, and what are we looking at here? Okay, so the level that we need to maintain above in the tech sector and the Qs is this 368.84, and already it looks like it's doing a better job than the SPY overall, just currently sitting here in the pre-market levels. Right, so based on the pre-market levels, it looks like tech is slightly doing better. It could be that it has that momentum off of that 200 moving average on the daily, but either way, the level we need to monitor today is this 368.84. Okay, if we open and maintain above this, great. We could look for that move to the 370.59, 371.97, and ultimately these two levels, which will act as yesterday's resistance levels, which are near yesterday's highs. Okay, so the key area on the Qs is going to be that 368.84. Maintain above this, we could look to at least track back to that 374 level, maybe 375. Okay, so that's one level to monitor on the upside. If we lose that, where are we going to the downside? It's just based on levels here, guys. If we lose this 368.84, very easily we can see this pull back down to the 368, 367, and then ultimately that 365.50, which will coincide with the SPY level back at where we had it at. Let me pull up the SPY and show you. Will coincide with this 451 level. Okay, so we go to the Qs. Then if we lose both these levels on the Qs and the SPY, then we can look for that aggressive sell-off, where the VIX might jump a little bit because we have room from 365.50 all the way down to the 364.10 and possibly 362. Okay, so this is going to be that pivotal area on the Qs, 368.84. Okay, that's one level to monitor. If we can maintain above this, chop around on this, but push above it, great. If we maintain, chop around, and then roll over, then we're going to get a sell-off like we did yesterday, and we might try to break some of these support levels on the downside. Okay, that's in regards to the SPY and the Q. Now let's jump on Twitter and take a look at some of the free alerts that I posted for you guys and why those are where they are. If you guys go on my Twitter, you'll see I have 3 posted right here: BABA, UPST, and PFE. Gonna pop those up right here. First one on the list, BABA. So BABA's gapping up here. Usually with BABA, you know, it tends to either push above those levels of resistance that it has on the gap up, and then if it fails to do that, it's got a nice gap to fill on the downside. What's going on here? It's got a nice gap to fill on the downside, which is also playable. All right, so what are we looking at here on BABA? If we can get back above this 136 level on BABA, we could try to push towards at least this 138.43 level that I have some resistance. All right, there's going to be some resistance on the way with BABA. If we get over 136, there's going to be some resistance on the way, but ultimately we could see this push to the 138.43. But we're looking to buy the 136 calls over the 136 for a push up. Now, if we roll over, we're looking to buy the 135 puts under the 135. Why? Because there's this massive gap that it has now that it could try to fill if we get back under the 135. All right. Now, you guys always ask me, how do you take these alerts? How you take these alerts is very simple. If it's within the first 5-10 minutes, trigger is about to take place, you take the trigger. you risk that move. If it happens, it's going to go out without you. Now, if it's after the first half an hour, 45 minutes, what you're going to want to see is either a consolidation at that level and then a break, or you're going to want to see the break and the retest to get involved in the name. All right. Next one on the list, we have UPST. So the reason why UPST is on my list because it's breaking the key support here on the daily. Okay. So we're looking at 107 calls over 108 on UPST. Let's take a look at the closer time frame again. So if we can get over that 108 level on UPST, which is trying to get over it now, right? Over that 108, we're looking to buy 107 calls to kind of get that push to the 109 area, and then ultimately you can get a push to the 112. But if we lose that 105.50, which happens to be this area right here, if we lose this 105.50 level, then we're looking to buy the 106 puts. Why? Because we are under all that resistance level, failed to make a new high. We could roll over and try to come back down towards that 101, 100 area in regards to the UPST. All right, so again, same thing here, over 108, we're buying calls. Under the 105.50, we can look to buy some puts. Next one on the list is Pfizer. So Pfizer, again, is coming from the daily chart. We can see that we have this bearish candle that it's putting on the daily. Let's take a look at the closer time frames. All right, so that 53.45 level is that level. It broke it just now in the last 15 minutes here. So we're looking to buy puts under the 53.45, which is right here. If it opens and flushes, we're looking to buy those puts out of the open. But if it gets back over that 54 level, then we can try to buy some calls. Really not interested on the top side, more interested on the downside on this. But if it does get back above 54, we could try to push back towards this 54.50 and ultimately the 55 level. All right. So watching this one mainly on the downside move to see if it breaks that 53.45 and sells off. But ultimately, if it pushes back up to 54, I monitor it for some calls as well. And those are the free trades for the Twitter alerts. All right. Now, if you guys have some questions, go ahead and let me know. But before I get involved with that, go ahead and smash the like button. I know there's about 110 of you in here. There's only 45 likes. So let's get those likes up. In the meantime, I'll go over some of the questions that you guys have in the chat. Again, let me know if you guys are looking to day trade it, calls, puts, swing trade it. I need to know. The more information I know, the better. I can give you my thoughts on it. But with that said, let's get into the chat. We got Kaka here. What do you think about the ticker like? Wait, I don't know. I can't even pull that up. I don't know if that was a joke. All right, JPM 152.50 this week expiry, potential bounce to yesterday's pre-market high, cheap premium. All right, so cheap premium. All right, you're looking to buy this week's expiry on a stock that's had a massive sell-off. Bounce to yesterday's pre-market high, cheap premium. I guess you're talking about a day trade. I mean, on Thursdays, I don't choose same week expiry. If you're trying to day trade this, potential bounce to yesterday's pre-market high. Yesterday's pre-market high is all the way up here at 52.85. If you think it's gonna go there and you have support right here at 148.60, great. You could buy calls out of the open, see if it gets back above that 149.79. 150 level for you to try the calls. However, if you choose same week expiry and the stock decides to go sideways, your theta is going to chew you up and you're going to lose your money ridiculously. So obviously for day trades, I wouldn't be choosing same week expiry. They're higher risk. That's why the premiums are a lot cheaper. I would choose next week expiry. But for this to kind of take place, not a fan of doing such a thing, not a fan of trying to dip buy a stock that's been absolutely getting tormented. So, I mean, I wouldn't do that, but if you're going to try it, you would have to wait at least, I would say at least over the 150.50 area to clear all these resistant levels, and then you can look for that push to the pre-market high levels. Not a trade that I would ideally take. You're trying to catch a falling knife here. Like to buy calls a month out for SPY and Apple. I don't see much strategy in that. Usually I like to look for a pattern or some sort of a setup. 1 month can come very quickly, and with Apple trying to, under these support levels, has the opportunity to pull to the 161, you might be a little bit early. So wait for reversal patterns, wait for some sort of bullish pattern before you get involved in buying 1 month out, just buying for the sake of buying. Dali, sorry I'm late. What's going on? All right, good morning. Random question, but why do traders use QQQ and the SPY versus SPX and IX? It's very similar. It's just they're very similar. There's not much difference between SPX and SPY. It's just one's cheaper than the other one, but they follow the same system and the same systematics. Good morning, Caesar. Why is AMD deep in the red pre-market? AMD, why is it deep in the red pre-market? Probably because it broke down a pretty vital support yesterday, and it's gapping down because there's not much buyers there. Not really sure. It should be gapping up with the market. You're right. So that is some relative weakness there. But it broke a pretty vital support on the daily, and it is gapping down with not much support here, not much volume nodes. So I mean, this level right here, that 125, is a level that it may decide to hold, which it looks like it's doing so here in the pre-market. That 125 level is that level that it did hold actually. All right, you can see it coincides with this level right here, right? So levels work, guys. Pay attention to your levels when you're trading. Can you make a video on how to set up pivot points in TOS, please? Sure, I can do that later. Bullish flag or bearish flag. AMD long term. Long term, what do you mean by long term? We're talking about years out or weeks out? What is the best ETFs right now? Best ETFs right now are probably, you're looking at probably things that have been beaten down. So maybe the Qs, maybe some airlines, and stuff like that you can kind of take a look into. Brown edge studies. SoFi long-term hold. I don't really like SoFi. Would not hold SoFi long-term. So wrong person to ask about SoFi, Mr. Needham. But I mean, you got to do your research on what it is that they do, what they have, what their balance sheet says in regards for you to try to even open a position on them. Obviously, they had that news the other day with the bank and whatnot. Anyways, for day trade purposes, over the 1450, it might get interesting where it has room to the 1510 and then the 16. But other than that, I wouldn't really hold SoFi for long term, not at these levels anyways. Baba is way up because interest rates were cut in China. Yeah, Baba is up. A lot of Chinese names are up. Baba, Baidu, JD, Billy, they're all up. Cat and BA calls short term. Cat. So let's take a look at Cat. By short term, I'm not sure if you mean day trade or swing trade, but definitely not something you can swing trade here after that big sell-off. For day trade, you need this back above 224 at least. If it gets back above 224, you might try to retrace back to that 226 level. BA selling off as well. Big sell-off after coming into that resistance area right here for calls. You would have to try to get back above, hold on, give me 1 second. You would have to get back above that 218.40 level or 218.70 level. Then you can look to retrace that 219.90 and ultimately the 222. Again, not something that I would try to buy calls at after such a big sell-off day. I would need a better setup, better system in order to get involved in trades like that. For long position in the tech sector, do I sell my position if I'm down over 20% or go below key support areas, or do I double down when I hit broken bottom support? I have CrowdStrike 250. It really depends. For long position in the tech sector, was your position based on a long-term positional hold? Were you looking to swing trade that position? If you're looking to swing trade that position, did you have a pattern? Were you trading a pattern? If not, then you need to look for proper patterns to trade if you're swing trading. And if that pattern did break down, well, you got to exit your position. It doesn't matter if you're down 20%, 30%, 10%. If your pattern that you were trading broke down, then you exit that pattern and you don't really, there's really nothing else there for you. If you're holding this for the long term and you're down 20%, then you're looking to average down. You've done your research on the company. You probably look to average down, get a good cost average. So in the next 4 or 5 years, you get a good average as a stock continues to move up higher. But again, I don't know what your outlook is, and I would never average down on a short-term position. AMD got a price downgrade today. That's the reason for the weakness. There you go. Several months out, but I know the market is so unpredictable right now. So several months out. Let me see. Yeah, so several months out wouldn't be longer term to me. To me, that's more like a swing trade, and I don't see anything here on AMD. Maybe if it gets back to this 122 level, and you look for some sort of a reversal pattern, or maybe a bigger falling wedge that comes into this 122.27, then you can try it there. But right now, I wouldn't be doing it. I wouldn't be jumping in for 2 to 3 months out calls. AMD got downgraded. That is possibly why. Yes, you're right. What about AMC during this dip? AMC. When you guys ask me questions about AMC, I just want to like ban you. I have trouble finding levels. Examples, where do you make the levels at? The daily chart, please show me on DWAC simple chart. I think I'm swinging it. Well, I'm not going to show you on DWAC because DWAC is a piece of shit stock. And you start on the daily levels. You have to start your levels from the top down, right? So let's say any stock that you're looking at, AMD, right? We get our levels simply from the daily levels. Let's say Tesla, you have to start from daily levels, right? These are the levels that you draw. This right here is an all-time high resistance level. This right here is a level of resistance, right? This right here is a level of resistance. You start at the daily level and then you work your way down towards the time frame that you're trading, right? And it all coincides. You can see right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. It all matches, right? So you have to start from the top-down approach, and you start from the daily levels and work your way down to the level that you're trading. AMD falls as per. Yep, there you go. GM Flores, there you go. Rolando, for your day trades, do we choose next week expiration? It's up to you on how much risk tolerance you have. But usually for the day trades, it's all same week expiries. They're higher risk. You could choose next week expiries. Usually my rule of thumb is Monday to Wednesday, I choose same week expiries. Thursday, I choose next week expiries. And on Fridays, I choose lotto trades, which are higher risk. Can you look at OXY? What about OXY? So it looks like it's coming into resistance at 37.29. Again, not sure what you want to do with OXY, but I wouldn't try to chase this into resistance here. F, please. So F, obviously massive sell-off yesterday, getting back under the support levels. If Ford gets back under this 2190, 2180 level, it can see further sell-off, but it's bouncing a little bit here in the pre-market. Again, F, please, doesn't really tell me what you want to do with it. If you're trying to day trade this, you would have to wait for at least Ford to get back above 2220. And if you're looking to day trade puts on it, you'd have to wait for that 2180 level to break again for the downside. What stocks are you holding long term? I got a few: Baba, Tesla, Neo. I gotta look at my portfolio, but those are some of the ones that I'm watching. Jumaya, I have, unfortunately, I'm getting roasted on Jumaya. Microsoft calls for a day trade today to 315 FIB resistance level. Let's take a look at Microsoft for a day trade. Pretty ugly candle they put in yesterday. 315 level. So they have a resistance right here at 314. I think the nice breakout level was that 308 on Microsoft. If we can maintain over this 308, 309 level and flag, then I would look to buy calls towards that 311.50 and then ultimately the 314. But wait to see how it acts at this 308 level. Needs to put in a bullish pattern. If it puts in a flag or a double bottom at one point, then you can take that trade to the upside with the market, if the market is strong. If the market is not strong, no point in buying calls on Microsoft. Watching the SPY and the QQQ and QES better. Yeah, NQ and ES works as well. Those both work. Amazon on shop day trade call. Amazon. Just take a look at the daily here on Amazon. So Amazon breaking some key areas here, which is pretty rough. You could try the Amazon calls and have your stops right here at 3126.50. But again, we need some sort of a pattern. There's no trigger on the upside. We're catching a falling knife here on Amazon. But you can just do a support dip buy here at 312.650, having your stops right here at the 3120 if you want. With Shop, I know Shop came down to this 1225 level. Again, another good area of support on it. Not much trigger on this. If we did get above that 1120 level, that would be the level that you could kind of trade it to the push to the 1180. But right now, it looks like it's kind of stuck in this consolidation, and it is at this support of 1025. So you could try to buy calls here with stops at 1025, trying to get that move to the 1113 if you wanted to on Shop. Yes, I have extended hours up. Netflix, don't really know what you want to do with Netflix. ATVI, guys, this is a buyout rumor. So I know a lot of you guys just keep talking about this ticker, but it's a buyout rumor. And if the buyout price has already been set, you know, this is why it's just going sideways here. It doesn't mean that it's going to fill the gap. You know, this is a buyout. This is a buyout gap. The reason why it popped up and sold off a bit was there was no price given in the buyout, but the valuation is there, right? So this is kind of going sideways. I wouldn't trade ATVI at all. This is just absolute. It's just going to chop you out. There's really nothing here to trade. Look at this. It's gone absolutely sideways for the last, 14, 24 hours. So definitely nothing there for me. Facebook question mark. Like I said, I don't. You guys need to tell me what you want to do with your tickers. If you do Facebook question mark or Netflix, I'm not going to answer those questions. I'm somewhat new. Started learning about 6 months ago, following all the unusual, but I recently saw that Matrix with your videos. Matrix. Just want to thank you. No worries, Peter. All right. Guys, if you guys are still here, go ahead and smash that like button. There's about 112 of you, and there's only 68 likes. We're struggling on those likes here. Lucid puts only if it gets under the 40.50 level. You can try the puts down to that 39.30. Otherwise, it looks like it's trying to push back up to towards that 42.70 net 6 level. All right, so if it gets back under the 40.50 level, you could buy puts. Try to ride this wave down. All right, guys. So just a reminder, every Thursday I do go live. I go live on YouTube every Thursday at 8:30. We come in, we go over the market, we go over the free alerts, then we go over some of the questions that you guys may have. Again, as always, if I did miss your question, go ahead and DM me on Twitter or Discord. I'll answer the questions that you guys may have. Obviously, from 9:30 till 10, I'm a little bit busy because I do trading myself. So if it's something urgent, make sure you guys either at me or tag me in Discord so I can answer your question. But otherwise, every Thursday we are live on YouTube, going over the market, going over your questions, going over some of the free alerts. And yeah, so if you guys are still here, go ahead and smash that like button. I would appreciate it. And with that said, I got to get back into the room and get started on the trading day. Hope you guys are safe. Stay safe. Keep your eyes on the markets, those levels that I mentioned, and make sure that you guys are watching the markets when you're day trading as well. All right, guys, thank you guys all for tuning in, and we'll catch you all next Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time right here on YouTube. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.